Hey guys, what's up? Happy Wednesday. Once again, it's the middle of the week and here I am doing a live stream, giving feedback on somebody's submitted reel. As always, I hope that you guys can hear me. I never know. Maybe I should listen to myself. Maybe I should do that. I'm going to plug in my headphones here. I had my headphones unplugged because I was going to plug in my speakers so that you could hear, when I play a lip syncing part in the reel. But now I want to know if people can actually hear me. So let me just test that quick. Apologies for the technical check. You can hear me because I can hear me. So cool. Glad I did that. Got that out of the way. So today I am reviewing a submitted reel from Natalia Lichanska, who is a contender. So I'm just going to pull that up on SyncSketch, as always. I'm sure you guys know our regular schedule by now, how it works. So let me just get that up. SyncSketch, where are you? There you are. Yes. Okay, so there it is. Let me plug in my speakers now so that you guys can hear when I play it. You can hear if there's a lip syncing section. Now, anything? Oh, it doesn't work. Oh my gosh, thank you. Oh, thank goodness. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. Okay. Okay. Let's get back to it. Thank you so much for helping me chant national. I am deeply indebted to you. That would have been so awkward. Oh my gosh, if I had just kept talking, I would have died. I kind of died a little bit right now sorting this out. I'm sweating. Okay, cool. I don't know. Okay, let's just go back to the beginning and start again. Okay. So we'll go through this a little more slowly. Let's play that first clip again. Okay, so as I said before, which nobody heard me say, I really love this shot. Oh, actually, I love how you've got so many different examples of character animation in your reel, first of all, because it's very cool that you've got the body mechanics for this first shot where she's climbing up. And then you go on to, you know, a closer, more emotional shot with facial expressions and lip syncing. And then you go on and you've got a normal animal shot of a tiger, and then also like a fantastical animal, a dragon with wings and everything that's pretty difficult to animate. So really great examples of all the different types of character animation that you've got in here. That's really good to show, you know, what you can do with your animation, your character animation in a reel. So good shot choices. For this first one, I really love this little touch at the end where she runs off and she looks right at the camera. You kind of feel like a parent who you're watching your kid do something that you know you should kind of like tell them to stop or shout at them for because they're doing something kind of naughty, but it's just so freaking adorable. And you kind of like, whoa, they can actually, I mean, she got to the top of a fridge. So you kind of feel like a parent who's standing there watching them do something kind of naughty, and then she like glances at you as she runs off. It's really cute. And her expression is also really cute. So I really like that. The way she climbs up is very nimble and it's very cute. It's a lot like a toddler when they're climbing, when they first learn how to climb and they realize that they can do things like a monkey. All in all, it's a really cute shot, and I love the little touches of the hair. The hair is animated really well. There's no parts where, like often, you know, people will have bits of the hair going through the shoulder and stuff. There's a lot of detail going through the hair. The offset of it is really good to the rest of the body. The follow through, it's all really, really well done. Those little pigtails there. Let me just get my drawing tablet because I always struggle to draw with my mouse in this thing when I'm trying to just illustrate what I'm talking about. Oh gosh. I'm zooming in and out here because of the stupid touchpad. Gosh, what is happening tonight? I'm all a jumble. Oh my word. Oh my word. Just reset. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, this first part here, I feel like she could have a little more power behind pulling herself up. She doesn't really have a foothold because it is a fridge. So it's a smooth surface. She might have super grippy shoes, but most of the power behind this climbing that she's doing right now will be coming from her arm strength, her upper body strength. So there could be a little bit more of a pull up here. Maybe have her reach further up so her arms are straight, and then she sort of should pull herself up rather than the smooth climb up. It would be fine if there were footholds there, but there aren't. So as I said, most of it's upper body strength. So you really need to feel that pull behind the power of her pulling her body up like that. So just extend her arm maybe a little more higher up. And then she can pull herself in closer to the fridge at first. So her arm should bend more, her body should come in closer, and her arm should bend. So she's really pulled herself up, and there's that sort of jump and exchange of the weight from her feet to her arms, because her feet are helping, but they're not taking the brunt of all that weight. And it would be if we saw a little bit more slipping on her feet. There's a slight slip over there on this left foot as she climbs, but again, because it's a flat surface, there's no footholds, a bit more slipping would just give it a bit more of a real feel. I like that little bounce there in this foot as she first sets off there. That's really nice. It first goes down in anticipation and then up. That's really nice. Over here where she reaches up, I would just extend her arm a little. It's a little bit of an awkward angle as it comes like this. It's like it's sort of jutting out to the side a little too much. We just think about the silhouette there as she reaches up. Again, it just kind of stays as if it's jutting out more, the elbow a little bit more to the side. And I would just spread out the hand a little more, you know, flex out the fingers, especially when she's first reaching for that handle. That's a great opportunity for a very expressive hand as she reaches out and her fingers splay. Offset them a little bit. Can you even see what I'm doing here? Offset them a little bit so it's more of like she's reaching and her hand is kind of like going like that as she grasps. Oh, that's awful. As she grasps for that handle over there, and then they can close nicely offset around the handle. Very nice little foot swivel over here if you watch this foot as she changes to go up there. I like that. I would put a little more flexibility in the ankles. They feel quite stiff at the moment. And this is a bit of an awkward pivot of the leg and the foot sideways over here. And I would maybe just smooth out that arc a little bit as it comes up, because it is a little bit jumpy as it comes up and around like that. And then over here, because she finally has a foothold, should sort of have a kind of her foot land there and grip. And then she will put her weight onto her foot and push up from that. So we're kind of missing that weight transfer over there and that power behind that foot now taking the brunt of the weight. I don't know if you guys can hear my cat. It's really annoying, and she's meowing so loudly right now. Sorry about that. I like that where she sort of falters a little bit, tries to kind of get her bearing and her balance a little bit more there. That's a nice touch. I would maybe just have it a little less bouncy though. Yeah, she kind of bounces up and down quite a lot. So have her body especially move a little less, and with that foot faltering is really nice. I would just watch the silhouette here with the way the leg is, especially here. This is a bit of a awkward silhouette there. I would bring in this ankle so it's just a little bit more smoother there. So it doesn't go outwards like that. It's a bit of a more tidy silhouette. Very nice transfer of the body weight here as she pulls up, and then she gets her upper body onto the top of the fridge. That's really, really well done there. Very nice as she pulls herself up. As she sits up, you could have a bit more of a curve to the spine as she pulls herself up. A little bit of overlap on the head. So she can pull herself up, have a spine in a C curve, and then it could invert as she straightens up, and then she goes forward towards the candies. And again, I would just then bring it back into a bit of a C curve just so that she's more sort of her whole body is focused on the candies. Her body's looking a little bit stiff at the moment, her spine. And I would just offset the hands because they are both moving at pretty much exactly the same timing there. They're twinning quite a lot. I would just offset the timing of the arms there. Probably have the behind hand reaching forward slightly, a little bit more than the other, maybe a bit raised. So she reaches sort of, so if this arm was down like that, reaching, and the one behind was sort of like that, reaching for the bowl, and if they were just offset slightly over there. I'm going to let my cat inside because I feel like it's a really annoying. If I let her in, she'll stop meowing. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm very sorry about that. That was ridiculous, but I feel like it's better to have her sitting here than meowing relentlessly the entire time. There's nothing you can do with cats. Like, you can't stop them from doing anything. They just do whatever they want. Okay, so let's carry on here. Sorry, I'm really sorry about that. Okay, I feel like as she comes up, she should kind of like pause in her victory, because now she's got this thing that she went through all of this great adventure for. She's got her prize. So she should sort of pause and appreciate it for a little bit, you know, like just wallow in her victory for a little while. Because she kind of just keeps moving the whole time. She grabs it. She's super happy about it, yes. And then she kind of just looks back down at what she now needs to do. So I feel like a little pause over there, just let the moment settle, let her grab it, appreciate it, look at it for a while. Then she can sort of, you know, realize that, oh, dang nabbit. I was going to say shit, but obviously a toddler wouldn't say that. Dang, I have to still climb down this big fridge and hopefully mommy's not going to see me. So a little pause, appreciate it. Then she can look down, realize that she still needs to go all the way back down. Maybe have her expression be sort of like, oh, I still got to do that. Then she can look back at the lollipop and be like, oh, yeah, but I got my prize, so it's all good. And then she can turn around and head back down. Really like how smooth the movements are as she shimmies down there. Very cute as she runs off as well. I really like that little run. It's a nice little kid run, bouncy and cute. So our next shot over here is really good, like I said, for showing emotions and lip syncing. It's always good to include that sort of thing in your reel. And you really get the feeling of, you know, she's sad, it's sad, whatever the situation is. It's really well done. The camera angle, I feel, could be pulled out just a little bit. I understand that you want to have a close-up because it's an emotional shot. You're focused on the emotions and on the facial expressions. Makes total sense, but it's just a little too close at the moment. I would pull it out just slightly more. And the angle of the camera, it's almost as if it's a POV from, you know, the vantage point of the person she's talking to, but then she looks to the side. So it's not a POV shot quite. So I would either bring it around to the front of her or bring it more to the side. So it does feel like it is a POV shot, point of view shot. The eyebrows are great. They're very expressive. I'm not going to plug in my speakers again because it's going to mess up my sound probably. But I'm just going to take a listen to what she's saying. Okay, so generally the phonemes are good. It's just where she says like vowels, or, you know, she's like, I don't know, I'm not really like this. There's not much difference in the width of her mouth, especially on the O. So I would definitely purse it a little more just so that you can see that there are different words going on there, the different vowels. So no, it would be a lot more pursed. Because if you look at it now, you can see that it's pretty much the same width the whole way through. It's almost as if it's just opening and closing. Over there, it does sort of purse a little bit more, but I would push it a bit. I'd push it a bit more. And there she sniffs. That's really nice. Her whole body going up like that. That sniff is really great. And here she says, it's so sad. We don't really get the so, because again, her mouth just doesn't contract quite enough there on the so part. Really like the eyes. The eye animation is good. How she looks to the side to the person, looks down. The eyebrows are also really good. When she sniffs, I would just maybe exaggerate the nose, the side of the nose over there a little bit as she sniffs. There is a slight animation there, but I would just exaggerate that a little and maybe just also bring the cheek up slightly there. But otherwise, it's really great. The body movement, the shoulders, the chest, everything is really well done. Tiger's good. It's got a good pace as it walks. I would make it a little more fluid because predators, especially felines, tigers and stuff, they're a lot more smooth when they walk. He's quite jaggedy up and down. And as his paws come, I would exaggerate the curl under as they come forward a little more and just turn it inwards a little bit more as well. And that forward movement of its leg is a little bit sudden and jerky as well. I would just smooth out the curves there so that it's a little bit more fluid. And his back leg as well. Feel like it could curl back a little bit more, have a little bit more flexibility in the joints over there. It's still a little bit stiff. I like that head flick and that ear flick. That's really cool. The head also just feels a little bit stiff as well. I feel like it could have a little bit more offset and follow through on the body. And the up and down of the chest particularly as well could just be smoothed out a little bit more. That's really cute with the butterfly. The butterfly is nicely done. The dragon could do with a little more flexibility as well on his ankles and his toes as they come. His toes are very rigid. Obviously, I don't know what the rig looks like, but they could curl under a little more as they go backwards there, just for a little more fluidity. Same with his ankle, wrist. I guess it's his wrist, but it could curl backwards a little bit more, just to give it a bit more of a curve and make it feel a little bit more fluid. And as he stalks, his body could go down closer to the ground as well, including his haunches. The back legs could go down a little bit closer to the ground. Also, that leg comes, that leg, let me show you. This leg, when it comes forward a little bit too fast over there. If you check an animal that's stalking another creature, I mean, I've seen my cat stalking a lot of things, my dog as well. They slow down a lot because they're trying to sneak up on the thing. So they think they're so smart because they're like, so I would definitely slow it down a lot more. And bring those limbs down much more gently because he's trying to stalk this butterfly. He doesn't want to make any sort of vibrations on the ground or loud sounds. So at the moment, his feet come down almost like a slap. If there were sounds, it feels like there'd be like a bit of a slap. So I would bring them down a lot more gently, like he's placing his hands, paws, claws, whatever, down a lot more gently so as not to disturb the butterfly and sneak up on it a little better. Again, here, just curl these limbs back a little to make it a little more fluid. And then as he raises his hand here, should have a bit of a lag. So the toes would still be touching the ground there. And then he raises it up and then it would come back as he lifts his hand. And then it would come down and again have that follow through on it. So it doesn't just slap down like that, you know. First the palm, then the hands would follow. Palm. First the palm, then the fingers would follow. Jeez. That backhand comes forward a little surprisingly, actually. I think because there's no transfer of weight here, his hand goes down and then his body is staying exactly the same. So you have no indication that he's lifted that other leg because there'd be a shift onto this leg once he lifts that back leg. So you need to shift over so that there's more weight on the shoulder over here as he lifts that leg. And then that would at least give us a warning. It's like a bit of anticipation for that leg coming forward because at the moment it just kind of sneaks forward like surprise. So just a bit of a weight shift over there at whatever time he lifts that other leg. And his body would lift up a little bit and then it would come down. It's nice how he goes back like this and sort of gathers himself, readjusts his positions over there. These 2 feet here are twinning there, so I would offset them a little bit. First the back one, then the front one, and more of a transfer of weight because his body is staying in exactly the same position as he steps back like that. So it would move backwards as he takes that step backwards, and definitely I wouldn't twin those 2 over there. And then he should gather his strength, so go down in anticipation first and then lift off and push off more from his back legs to give a bit more power to that leap into the air. Timing wise, it could also be a little bit quicker as he launches off because he's got that power behind him. So like a fast in, and then it would ease a bit. Nice flight cycle there. I like the limbs and how they kind of go in, they ease in, you know, very nice with the flow. And then you've got your tiger again running. His ankles feel a little stiff as he runs there. They go down, and then you see there this, if you look at this one here, it goes up and then it comes down, and then it just sort of stays quite rigid there. So I would watch that, and also for the back legs, the same thing. Just watch the rigidity of his joints over there. Tigers have, or cats, predators, have weirdly flexible like ankles and wrists. But otherwise, it's a nice smooth run cycle. Really well done. You've got some really good selections for your shots over here. It's a very good display of what you can do. And it's a really good reel. So thank you for submitting it, Natalia. Thank you for letting me give you some feedback on it. I hope that it was helpful. As always, I always say the same thing, but I do genuinely hope that it was helpful for you. And this does help you guys out a little bit. So thanks again for the submission. You guys can check on the rookies. They post the link to where you can submit your stuff if you want to get your stuff looked at and, you know, get some feedback on it. Just go either on LinkedIn, they're posting, and I'm sure on the other social media they post, where you can go and there's just a little form you can fill out to submit your stuff. I'm going to be doing this every second week now, so not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after, I'll be back at it again with my feedback. So make sure to check it out then and watch the other things that are coming on here, you know, the drills and stuff like that. It's all really helpful stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope it was a good one. Hope you got some good info there. Thank you for helping me with my sound. Thank you for reassuring me that my cat wasn't that annoying. Sorry about the interruptions. I'll try to do better next time. Thanks, guys. Have a good week. We're halfway through it. Peace.